So what is going on, everyone? This is Fabi here, and today we're playing some Battleforge, and today we're going to play with my Batariel. I don't even know how to call it deck. This is one of the new decks I've been talking about, and today I'm going to bring some bad news. Now, if you guys don't know, or if you guys are not subscribed to the Battleforge like newsletter or something like that, Battleforge has just announced about 10 days ago that it will stop or it will shut down on October 31st, which is a very sad piece of news for us Battleforge players, because this game has definitely run its course, but I mean, it's only 4 years old. You look at other games in the industry, such as, I mean, when I say industry, I mean the gaming industry, not necessarily games of this sort, but look at Call of Duty. It's like Call of Duty 2, it's 7 years old, maybe even older, and it still is online. It still has online servers that are working. Look at Halo 2. It's probably the best example. It was one of the release titles for the original Xbox, and it was online till last year. So that means around 10 years. And the reason they shut it down is because no one was online anymore. And it's not like Battleforge is not being played anymore. Some people like me are still playing it from time to time, but with Halo 2, they waited till the last guy signed out so that they could shut down the servers. And it was a pretty funny story, because the guy actually let his console run 24/7 to be on the Halo servers, even though he was not playing, but his power went down one day, and so he was signed out the servers. But it was a pretty funny story. Now, EA is definitely known as, I think it's the worst company in the world. Not even the gaming company. It's the worst company of all time in the world. I don't know if it's of all time, but at this point in 2013, it's viewed as the worst company in the world. And you can see some of their policies definitely suck, such as this one. And by the way, if you were wondering why there's some lag, I don't know either. It seems like the game is a little bit laggy today. I know they updated it for last time a few days ago. That might be the problem, or maybe because I don't have the latest drivers. Either one of them. Hopefully it's watchable, though. It's definitely playable for me, so it should be watchable for you guys. Hopefully the quality is good enough. And so today we're going to play, as I've said, with the Batariel or Batariel deck, whatever you want to call it. And my Batariel deck is a little bit different. Now, what I mean by Batariel is not a full fire deck, but rather a nature and shadow combination deck, because I don't want to go with full fire. I think it's not as beneficial as the combination I've got going on right now. And as you can see, I've got the card Enlightenment over here, so we're going to use that to, or cast that spell to be able to spawn in a Batariel as soon as I'll get my third orb, which is pretty sweet. And of course, the first orb is nature. Now, I know a lot of people like to start with fire, and fire T1 is definitely strong, especially with nomads and mines. You can definitely clear the first base, but I always have trouble choosing my second orb when it comes to going with fire as the first one, because the second base is usually pretty hard, especially when your teammate doesn't help you. As I've always said, it's very important to have a teammate who supports you in the game and who helps you, and if you don't, then the choice of decks is going to be a little bit harder, because you need to choose something that's going to be able to defeat the second base alone without having the help of someone else. And so I always find it hard choosing a second orb for my Fire T1 deck. So I always pretty much go with the nature deck, but nomads and mines are really good for T1. Now, of course, I'm going to build, I think, yeah, I'm pretty sure, my Shadow Orb, which is going to allow me to spawn in some Shadow Phoenixes, and then, of course, I'll probably cast a Curse of Oink, and maybe even some more Wind Weavers if needed, but usually it doesn't, or it isn't the case, especially because you can see here my teammate is pretty fast, and he's going to be able to help me, which is something that I'm always looking for in a Battleforge teammate. So now I'm about to go and attack the enemy base. I don't even know if I'm going to cast any more Shadow Phoenixes, but let's just do it for the heck of it, because it makes the gameplay more fun, I think. And so, as you can see, one thing that I don't like about the position I'm in right now, which is, I think, the 4th position, is the fact that you're really close to the enemy base when it comes to the second base. And I know this is the case with the first position as well, but I usually like to go with the third position whenever I play Battleforge. This is just a pro tip. It's usually the easiest one to do good on, and if you play with someone who's not as experienced, offer to give them the third or second position, because it's going to make the game much easier. You're going to be able to kill the enemies, and he's going to have a much easier time when he's not experienced enough. Other than that, what I also wanted to talk about is another pro tip when it comes to Battleforge, and this one is about matchmaking. You know, whenever you go into matchmaking, it usually takes a lot of time for the game to fill up, because Battleforge is not as played, and obviously it takes more time. But a good tip is to never tick the ready button, or tick the ready thingy, until the lobby is full with people who are capable of playing the map. Now, what I mean by that is, let's say you are playing difficulty 9 Battleground RPVE 4 players, right? And there's someone who joins who's like level 2, deck level 10, and he's a really big noob, and the guy who made the lobby doesn't really give a fuck, so he just starts the game. That's usually what happens when you're pressed on ready. But what I would advise you guys to do is to always make sure that the players in your lobby are capable of playing before you press on ready, because you're definitely going to have a much harder time beating the map with people who are not capable of beating the map. So always make sure to do that, and also never press the ready button until the lobby is full, because there are some assholes out there who are just gonna press on start game or start match even when the game is not full yet, just because they're assholes and they want to ruin your day. And that's kind of like a pro tip that I always like to keep in mind when I play this game. Now the third orb is going to be a nature orb, so I can cast my what is it called? My Enlightenment, of course. And now that I have my third orb, I think it is time for me to build a Furnace of Flash over here, so I can kill my Wind Weavers, and of course build my cast my Enlightenment, and of course my Batariel. I don't even know how to call it. It's pretty funny. But then, as soon as the third orb is going to be ready, I'm going to also build the Incredible Mo statue, which is going to give me 25% more resistance against enemy damage, which is a pretty neat little thing. And it's almost like the Wheel of Gifts, but it's you can only build one. It's much cheaper in the auction house, so it's a pretty good card, I'm not gonna lie. So now that I built my Furnace of Flash, of course I'm going to kill my troops, and I need about 500 and something points to cast Enlightenment and the Batariel. So I need 550, and I usually wait for that, and then I just cast and I go apeshit, because as soon as you have the Batariel, the game is done. And I would honestly advise you guys to not build more than one. Usually when you have a Batariel deck, it's very much needed to have a very spell-oriented deck, because with the Batariel, it's very good to go with only one. With only one Batariel, because if you don't know what the strength of the Batariel is that it's able to attack one enemy, and then it deals damage to all of the enemies in, like, let's say a 20-meter radius. So let's say you attack a big boss and there's a lot of small guys next to it. Well, the smaller guys are going to be killed because it has like a blast damage sort of thing, and it's very powerful. And you always need to make sure it's being healed, because otherwise he's just going to die. And the reason why I'm saying that it's always better to go with one is because it's much easier to keep one alive. Now, with one Batariel, it's very much enough to complete every single difficulty 9 or difficulty 10 map. So as long as you can keep it alive and spelled up with Live Weaving and Unholy Power and Unholy Hero, you're gonna be all good, because this, as you can see over here, I just attacked a few of them and they all died because of the blast radius sort of damage. Now, as my fourth orb, I usually choose the Fire Orb, because I have the Earth Shaker cards, so that helps me quite a bit. And now we are going to go to town, boys. We're gonna go and attack the space alone, and probably right now you're going to be able to see what I'm talking about best when it comes to the oh my god, this is pretty bad right here. I'm running in a little bit of trouble, but I'm waiting for my 4-4 to be built, and then I'm going to be able to heal this. Oh, come on, there we go. That's what I'm talking about. And something that I also forgot, because I haven't played Battleforge for quite a while, is that I usually go with 2 healing gardens. Now, if you don't know what healing gardens are, they usually make your healing power much better. So let's say what this does is it makes yeah, your current troops benefit 100% more from your healing spells. So that's pretty cool. It essentially means you'll be able to keep the Batariel alive much easier, which is definitely what we're looking for. So now we are pretty much done, because now I can keep my Batariel alive very easily. As you can see, I'll cast all these spells, and I'll make sure to keep him alive. Something else that I also do is make sure that all of these are assigned to a few button combinations on my keyboard, because you don't always want to come back to your base and activate them. You just want to be able to press 2 or 3 on your keyboard and be able to activate them, which is much easier and much more beneficent, or efficient, not beneficent. Efficient is what I meant. But now it's pretty easy. Now, as long as you can get done with the first few bases, the last few are pretty easy when it comes to the Batariel. As you can probably see right there, it killed all of them instantly because of the blast damage radius sort of thing, which is definitely the biggest benefit to the Batariel. By the way, if you want to buy this, you still have some, let's say, Battleforge in your account. Go ahead and buy it, because this game is going to be done in a few months, or in a month and a half almost, and there's nothing you'll be able to do with this when the game is going to be pretty much obsolete, because as soon as they're going to stop the game from being online, you're not going to be able to play it. Now, what I wish EA did is made this game available for offline play, or maybe even outsource the servers to someone else so they could keep it up. For example, like a gaming company, such as, I don't even know, like some server company should keep it up, or could keep it up, and people could play for the service or just play for free, and that would be pretty cool. But EA doesn't want us to play this game anymore, and that's just EA's policy, and it's pretty sad. But yeah, just buy this this card, the Batariel D. I would recommend you guys the fire one. It's very good, and it's also pretty cheap when it comes to what it can do and how good it actually is. Because in combination with Enlightenment, this is one of the best cards in Battleforge, and I'm not even, you know, there's no doubt about that. Other than that, nothing much has been really happening. I'm not going to buy any more Battleforge points to buy any more cards, obviously. I'm probably going to invest in some cards in the auction house so I can just say that I had them. For example, I'm probably going to sell some of my cards and buy the Forest Elder card, because it's one of the coolest apps in this game. Especially I like the skin of it. It looks so goddamn elite. I love it. But we're about to beat this map, and we don't have much trouble beating it, or beating the map. Other than that, if you guys like my channel, make sure to like this video, share it with your friends on Facebook and on Twitter, and if you didn't catch my latest update video, make sure to watch it, because I talked about my channel, my future plans, and the fact that I want to live stream not only gaming but also technology videos, and maybe even some sort of podcast or question and answers sort of video or live stream. And I want you guys to go to my Twitter and to my Facebook, like my Facebook page, and follow me on Twitter so I can get in touch with you guys easier. Whenever I want to do a live stream, I can just go on Twitter or on Facebook and announce it over there, and have you guys come over to my channel and watch the live stream and tune in, which is pretty cool. And Facebook and Twitter are really good at that. But other than that, there's really not much happening right now that I can talk about. Something that I also want to talk about, though, is gameplay-wise, is the fact that you always need to watch your Batariel. You never have to, or you can't ever let it go out of your sight, because it dies pretty quickly, especially if it's alone in a base and everyone attacks the Batariel. You always need to make sure it's you got spells casted on it, and it is always full of life, pretty much, because as long as you keep it with its health bar at full, you're not going to run into trouble. But always make sure to keep it, keep an eye on it, pretty much, is what I'm trying to say, because it's risky, and because you only have one, it's harder to get back into the game. Because look, my closest base is over here, and for me to travel from there to over here, it takes a heck of a lot of time, and it's definitely not what I would recommend you guys to do. It's not time efficient at all, and so that's the gist of it. But me and my buddy over here, DMANDP, I don't know what's with these names and these people. Just choose a goddamn easier name to pronounce, for God's sake, and I would be much happier. But we are doing much better than our buddies over here. They're still a little bit back, and this guy is going to attack over here and kill this base. Again, he's going with 2 Batariels. It's not like it's wrong, but the strategy works better with only 1 Batariel, and that's what I've learned from experience, and also from a bunch of forum users who are definitely experienced when it comes to Battleforge. So that's pretty much it. We still have one more base to defeat over here, and it's going to take some time because he seems to have a little bit of trouble, so let's just help him to make sure to finish this game earlier. Here we go. Cast some thunderstorms. It's gonna be sad because this game is going to shut down a little bit. And ever since I started playing in 2010 or 2009, it might have been, I was wondering when this game was going to become obsolete, because it never had a huge following, and it wasn't like this game was the big thing at any point in time. It was just like a side game, and EA didn't even dedicate its full attention to this game, because they have a lot of games they have to pay attention. And Phantom, the developer of this game, did a pretty good job with polishing this game, releasing new content, but EA just didn't give a crap about this game. And it was like they released it and then it was done. They were done with it. But Phantom did save the day a little bit with new content updates, with bug fixes, and all sorts of stuff like that. But this game is still a little bit buggy. It's playable though, and it doesn't have any major game-breaking bugs. It has some minor bugs, but none of these are going to be important anymore when this game is going to be done. So I'm just going to enjoy playing this game. If you guys want to play this game with me, make sure to add me. My name in game is FABYTM. Just send me a message. I will add you on my friends list. And maybe when I'll log on, we'll be able to play. If you guys want me to pull some more Battleforge until this game is going to shut down, just make sure to leave a comment. And other than that, subscribe to my channel, like and favorite this video, and share with your friends on Facebook and on Twitter. Remember to follow me on Twitter and like my Facebook page. So peace out, guys. Peace. Have an awesome day, and stay tuned. Peace.